Yellowstone is a series that prides itself not just on the deep characters that make up their world, but putting them in situations that no one really could have expected as the seasons went on. As proven by the end of Season 3, when almost every single main character was attacked and almost died. But in Season 4, the knife got turned even more in regards to main character John Dutton and the relationships that he decided to have. Ones that will have a big impact on Season 5 when it comes out. Allow us to show you Yellowstone's John and Summer romance was foreshadowed by ex-wife Evelyn Dutton. John and Summer. Season 4 of Yellowstone ended in truly tough fashion for the Dutton patriarch John, played by Kevin Costner, and his new fling, Summer Higgins, Piper Perabo. After being used as a pawn by Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley, to get back at market equities and ruffle the feathers of law enforcement, Paramount viewers were stunned to learn Summer now faces a lengthy time behind bars in the newly renewed Season 5. However, arguably the biggest surprise in Summer's story arc from Season 4 is the fact that she even struck up a romance with the hardened John in the first place. A fierce environmental protester, Summer and John didn't exactly hold much in common when they first met at the beginning of Season 4. However, some eagle-eyed fans have suggested a romance between the two was all but guaranteed from the offset thanks to a clue from John's deceased ex-wife, Evelyn, Gretchen Mole. Evelyn died when Beth, Jamie, Wes Bentley, and Casey, Luke Grimes were all kids following a horse riding accident, for which Beth still harbors an untold amount of guilt for. John hasn't remarried or been truly able to move on decades later, despite a fling with Montana Governor Linnell Perry, Wendy Moniz, before Summer entered the picture. But the romance with Summer seemed like John was finally turning a corner, even accosting his loyal daughter Beth for landing Summer in trouble with the authorities. Could the romance be down to John seeing Evelyn in Summer? Some of the Yellowstone fandom certainly think so. The fan input. Redditor at iHeartSev put forward the foreshadow theory stating, "The second time I watched this episode, it seemed clear to me that John was immediately attracted to Summer Higgins because she resembled the young Evelyn that he fell in love with and married. The resemblance is both in her fair blonde looks and in her strong-willed, determined personality. It seems clear, too, that John is aware of this and is bothered by it, which is why he tells Beth that he's struggling with my conscience. The struggle is, am I wrong to want to become involved with a woman because she reminds me of my dead wife? Am I okay with that? Or would it be some kind of emotionally unhealthy or unfair thing to do?" And Summer's resemblance to Evelyn being the root cause of the romance was backed up by other fans on the platform. At American Wonderlust agreed. "I just rewatched that entire scene, and I totally see where you're coming from. So interesting. I think he's also battling his conscience because Summer is still much younger than him. She's likely meant to be his kids' ages. Nice catch." However, some weren't as on board with the theory as others, with @Ananona arguing, "Ew, I hope not. I don't want to think John was attracted to Summer because she reminds him of his wife. That's way too creepy for me. I prefer to think he was attracted to her because she's beautiful, strong-willed, committed, and fearless." So was John and Summer's romance foreshadowed by her resemblance to Evelyn? One thing is for sure, Season 5 is not looking good for the duo. Summer's currently incarcerated for assaulting a police officer during the protests at Market Equity's build site, which Beth sent her to. And unfortunately for the activist, the judge in charge of the case was keen to make an example out of her, despite pleas from John. Summer and John were left devastated to learn she'd been sentenced to 37.5 years behind bars, only being eligible for parole after 14 years. But if John manages to take on the governor role in Season 5, could he work his magic to get her out? Or will their romance be dead in the water as Summer faces years locked up? This is one of the many things that fans wanted answered in Season 5. Casey's new journey? As the 4th season gets underway, we learn that Casey survived the attack in the previous season's finale. Casey's dogged determination and sharpshooting skills helped him stay alive and kill the men who came after him. But in the aftermath of the attack, things changed for Casey and his family. Margaret and Tate were also targets of assassination, and though the pair survived thanks to Tate's handling of a shotgun, they were left traumatized. Looking out for the emotional well-being of his family first, Casey decides to relocate, taking his wife and son off the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch and buying a house in Pryor, Montana. It seems to do wonders for the young Tate and Monica too, and it's not long before she tells Casey that they are expecting another child. After yet another mysterious wolf sighting though, Casey seeks the help of his friends on the reservation, who convince him to undertake a vision quest for answers. There, he encounters images of his dead brother Lee, flashbacks of his time in the war, and the wolf, his spirit guide, in the form of a young Native American woman. With what we've seen Casey and his family go through this season, and the comfort he seemingly found off the ranch, we wonder if he'll keep his promise to his father and return to the Yellowstone. Is this Sheridan's way of writing Casey out of the series, or just a new story arc for him? Jamie's child. It was way back in season 2 that Jamie's ex-girlfriend, Christina, dropped a major bombshell on him. She is pregnant with his child. Jamie begged her to allow him to be a part of the baby's life, but she announced that she couldn't be with him if he was still working with the Duttons. Before leaving him again, Christina gave Jamie a fateful choice: serve your father's family or serve your own. It wouldn't be an immediate decision for him, as Jamie does not return to serve his father on the Yellowstone as a weapon of the ranch against his enemies. But when his father doesn't permit him to run for governor, Jamie finally splits from his family. In doing so, he discovers he is not really a Dutton at all, having been adopted as a baby, another shocker that left fans dumbstruck. And it's when he reconnects with his birth father, Garrett Randall, in season 4, that Christina resurfaces, with their baby in tow. But after season 4's conclusion, there's still no indication that anyone else in the Dutton family knows of the existence of Jamie's child. And it's anyone's guess how they'll react when they find out. Could Beth be looking for blood, vengefully resentful that she can't have children of her own? Could John see this child as a possible heir to the Yellowstone, as he made it clear he still views Jamie as a son? We'll have to wait and see. Carter. In the season opener, Beth meets Carter while outside the hospital that her father is recovering in, and the pair bond over their mutual family problems. Carter's father is dying, and when he needs someone by his side to say goodbye, Beth uncharacteristically offers to be support for him. Carter later turns up at the ranch when he gets in trouble with the law and tells the sheriff he knows the family. With nowhere else to go, Beth offers Carter a place to stay. After a little tough love from Beth and Rip, Carter winds up working at Yellowstone as a ranch hand and living with Beth and Rip in a quasi-family unit. From Carter's introduction, it seemed that he might be the next Rip Wheeler, a troubled, angry orphaned boy brought to the ranch through a compassionate Dutton and raised to be a cowboy. But in the finale, Beth makes it clear she wants no part of being a mother, though it's hard to deny that's exactly what's happening. Still, the question remains, what will Carter become? Will he be the next surrogate Dutton like Rip, a future wrangler and Yellowstone enforcer? Or, with Casey and his family off the ranch, perhaps for good, could Carter stand to become the next generation of the Dutton family with Tate out of the picture? So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at Yellowstone and the various interesting things that happened in Season 4 that will impact Season 5? Did you personally expect the romance between John and Summer to happen? Where do you think that will lead things next season? What other bombshells do you expect to be dropped when Yellowstone comes back? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.